Hello, and welcome to Savepoints, cosmic lessons I've learned about life and myself by playing video games. I'd like to welcome the Planetside 2 community, newcomers, oldcomers, as well as anyone who cannot appreciate the dynamic nature and evolution of the English language. My name is GoldVision, and I am from the future. Today I want to share a recurring lesson that haunts my everyday, one that, like so many others, I never actually learn. It is irritating and I am stubborn, but it is arguably one of the most important mantras in an introspective individual's arsenal. I recently joined an outfit. It took me 52 battle ranks to finally feel proficient enough to suggest I was capable of any sort of teamwork, which is of course fallacy, while additionally getting my kill-to-death ratio up to a respectable 1-to-1 from the tremendous deficit I built up by playing as a lone wolf, light assault, or infiltrator, try to C4 the tanks from the air, get sneak kills, but mostly get blown up or run over all the time guy. Having been in the outfit for only a few days, I was surprised and delighted to be invited to an official outfit event. I jumped at the invitation, revisiting all the anxiety and excitement of the first day of class in 3rd grade, although it seemed that others were hesitant to join, considering JCR 122, the outfit leader, wouldn't reveal exactly what the event was, only insisting that to maximize our entertainment we would need 4 teams of 3. Crunching the numbers, this ruled out Gestures, a game that requires only 2 teams, a healthy bout of backgammon, which requires at most 2 players, nor could it be Worm Up, which, as the name suggests, will never have any actual players. JCR assembled the 11 of us, and finally explained.
Alright, so, we're doing a harasser race.
The harasser is the 3-man vehicle available to all factions. It has a driver's seat for driving, a gunner seat for gunning, and a truck bed for standing in, an act which is considered illegal in 30 states, but apparently not on Indar. JCR explains the rules.
If one of your guys gets killed, you have to stop exactly where you are and wait for that guy to be res. You have to arrive with your whole team. Second rule is that if your harasser blows up, you and your whole team must go back to the warp gate and grab a harasser. Third thing is actually break up into teams.
Disaster. We are instructed to pick our own team simply by going and standing next to whoever we want to be on a team with. I am terror-stricken, as I revisit my adolescence, or as it voraciously revisits me. The fear of not being picked, having to be on the teacher's team again, the other kids smell the fear, being new, destroying my odds, and before I even realize what's happening, everyone is already stacked with their best of friends. Having my user interface disabled wasn't helping, especially as it led me to go with my gut instinct. I see a masked individual who seems to be staring intently into the soul of a proximity mine. I hope to take advantage of his distraction in order to, at worst, be cropped as the lone team of 2, at which point he appears to immediately abandon me to join a stoic ranger who confidently stood his ground as if to suggest he needed no teammates. I desperately try to join now as a perfect group of 3, only to realize I had mistaken someone of a completely different appearance for my masked friend, who I had now abandoned and who would now come over to us, sticking his gun into and through my face while also creating an impossible group of 4.
Okay, there's no team of 4. There's going to be a team of 3 and a team of 2.
JCR reminds us once again that we are not playing Gestures. Rio Guy and Jax 0216 abandoned me to join him, leaving me with the wandering masked Luce Creo, who eventually wanders towards them, leaving me to stand alone even as JCR groups us together as the only 2-person team. With the odds stacked against us and failure inevitable, as I'm about to try and convince Luce Kira that we should instead become the world's first warm-up players.
Everybody, is there a squad I should be joining?
Horse O ADC signs on and asks if there's an outfit squad to join. JCR immediately assigns him to our team, a cruel sentence he unwittingly accepts. I've never met either of these individuals, but at the risk of embarrassing myself or what's worse, breaking up the evenness of these teams, I decide to trust them with my life. We line up at the starting line where JCR explains the midway point, Swarva Biolab, currently occupied by the new conglomerate. After driving through any conflicts on the front lines, the rules demand we get out and stand within the checkpoint, get back in the harasser, and back to the starting position all without dying. JCR counts us off.
Okay guys, when I say go. 3, 2, 1, ham sandwich, go!
Already feeling confident with our driver Orso ADC-1, who shows proficiency in avoiding the pratfalls of JCR's classic flag drop humor, we take off out of the safety of the warp gate and head north. I won't bore you with the details of how the first half of the race played out, which is actually code for I wasn't really watching the map as much as I was enjoying the scenery and shooting bad guys who weren't really interested in us. We're the first to arrive at the biolab, at which point we all get out and comply to the rules. We're fortunate enough to arrive only a few seconds before Bravo team. We move in, touch the checkpoint, and get back to the car, passing a smoking Alpha Squad car with heart-pounding action possibly exceeding that of Forza 5, Forza 4, not Forza 3, perhaps Forza 2, and possibly Forza, the most Forza of the Forzas. Orso ADC-1 begins to take us towards an alternative route. The ominous scenery leading me to check the map and then to panic, Luce Creo and I hesitate, suggesting that we perhaps turn around, perhaps wait until this whole future war thing blows over, when we are confronted by a tank. Seemingly defying the laws of time, space, and magic, the tank that has suddenly appeared begins doing its one job, pummeling rounds into our misappropriated race car. It is at this moment that all perceived options subside. Our only real choice is to keep moving forward. Although I was firing relatively accurately for the first time ever, my cannon would not be effective against the heavily armored vanguard, who I can only assume had personally ratified local legislature banning the riding in a bed of a truck, skipping due processes and moving straight into capital punishment. With no time to debate the ethics of this particular situation, our engine began to smoke and I could no longer see our pursuer. It is important to note that an engineer in the truck bed can repair the vehicle using a nano repair device, and it helps to have a magic engineer who somehow survives tank blasts and collisions without a seatbelt. We narrowly escaped the effective range of the mobile self-righteous government machine, and testing my gun to make sure it still worked on some passing spectators/enemies, we head up the path out of the impact site. Our escape narrowing as a giant blue rocket chases us. I try to toss out some optimism.
That's not good.
As it thankfully misses. We head up the path and out of the crater, and I activate some sort of futuristic pants cleaner. The path we had taken splitting us from our competitors, Orso ADC-1 skillfully navigates the turns and friendly bases on the way back up to the wart gate. We approach a fork where we reconvene with the other racers, a mere 4 seconds ahead of Alpha Squad. As it seems we all had pulled standard issue harassers with identical top speeds, we arrive at the warp gate first, and JCR declares us victorious.
Anyway, nice job, Delta. Delta's victorious.
I fire into the sky to celebrate, knowing that regardless of what opinions Orso ADC-1, Luce Creo, and I had of each other, we could walk away winners. Not worm-up winners, mind you, which of course there still aren't any of. Our harasser parked in the center circle of the warp gate. Most of the participants seem eager to move on to the next event, likely something with more advancement opportunities and less putzing around. Having always been a fan of putzing, I remained by the harasser a moment, hoping to remember this time that although I'm often presented with an overwhelming set of different options, next time I won't need an enemy tank to remind me to keep moving forward. My name is GoldVision, and I hope you enjoyed this save point.